Okay, excuse the technical issues, but RavExel catching this Allied Final Tournament Game 3. Looks like about halfway done. This is the second rush here of Chris. So this is the January 2018 tournament with Team Gun and Team Arg facing off. This is the third game, so far Team Arg has a 2-0 lead, and right now Team Gun is trying to change that, and they're fielding a team of EXO UK, Krasnaya, France, Goliath, Spain, Norway, and Chris, Russia. And then for over on Team Arg, we have Molotov, Balthasar, and Penny as Spain. So Balthasar is Italy, and Molo as Germ. So let's just go around the map. I was having some technical issues starting this up. So Athens has been cleared, drops are being taken out. Africa open up very nicely from UK. Already troops filtering down here, so Africa is being taken. I believe Med is at 0 here. Spain is doing a defensive job at the moment. Yeah, that is correct. Allies have taken all of Africa. Here they're going to come on the attack, so it's not do or die for them. They don't have to win here. Getting lots of Marines high, where you want them against the BCs. Not too many open spaces for EXO. He's going to try to get a couple of pot shots with the hold maneuver on the outside, but not getting too much, and he's running out of troops to fight behind, and really solid hold here by Molo and Balth. This starport will not be successful, and you can see the tank count. Very solid line of bunkers here on the east side, so east very protected. Really, Balthasar only would have to bunk bulks, and he might not even have to do that if he just sticks his army kind of in this area and being able to plug up the hole or respond to an east attack. So right now you're going to see Axis on the advantage. The Med being stacked by Penny. It's going to be happening at the 0 mark. Looks very in charge of being able to get that trigger. Looks like about 6 drops, could be 7 if there's one hidden under there. Starport's still working, you can see the lights, so we have at least 7 or 8 drops with a science vessel. Allies, they do have this industry. Looking for SCV here. Don't quite see an SCV, so look, as you can see, the lights are on the command center, so UK is going to try to take the Algiers cities. And that'll be great money for EXO. He is going to need to start trying to build an air advantage as he is at a disadvantage right now. And being able to take African cities, even if you lose UK, is still an okay trade as per gold income. Obviously not the same, but pretty close. Here the Atlantic wall's been taken out, so Goliath would have done that. It's defeat from a observer slot, I believe. Not in this game. Norwegian mines. Molo's saying let's do it again. It's looking like he means go UK, but they are going to make sure to hit this med trigger first. Large army down here. I'm sure if Molo saw this, well, he does see this because Spain has this industry, but sending BCs down there might be an effective use. Nice clear. Drops being saved, and EXO should make some use of those. Air battle. It's a little bit of an unusual air battle here. You don't normally see that. It's EXO trying to jump the Italian BCs, and he gets 3 out of the 4. That's fairly successful. Very successful, rather. Following up on that, Chris is going to poke in the bulks. So looking for a chance to poke at some of these tanks. Thought he would have started hitting this one, but prioritizing moving his air out as he is getting attacked. No drops moving up there yet, but I imagine Penny should be extremely fast on these. There he is. We're going to see how much damage these mines do, but it's going to be limited because of Penny's very heads-up play of the Science Vessel. But look at this, Molo as well, going Science Vessel. So, great counter. You don't see this in normal pub games. This is tournament. These are the players trying their hardest to win, and here's Penny with a perfectly timed London drop, cleared away so that not a single mine hit his Marines. So here he's going to start taking London with the storage depot. He's got 750, so he could do a couple of turrets or a bunker as well, but he's going to try to get this London tax, and I think he's going to be successful. Of course, that's foreseeing these BCs and the Norwegian drops dropping here. If the German BCs were here, we would have had quite the spectacular fight. But without them being present, they could have stayed because East is doing really well. Balth held Chris to a pretty high standard, and Chris was able to get the tax on this and able to steal the industry here with supply depots being close by. So very heads up on the tax, and Chris being able to needle while his allies retake UK. So good job on the allies there. France starting to take out the islands, and he's successful while being able to pick up the fourth BC from Italy. So Balth, unfortunately, not getting these the use of these BCs, and you got to hand it for Exo and Krasnaya for being able to take Africa so incredibly quick, and then Exo on the heads-up play going to get the spawn of the Italian BCs, with Kraz being able to clean it up. And look at the control they have. They have all of Africa. They've got the 3 islands. They just been able to retake UK. They're doing extremely well tax-wise, and I imagine they're going to be taking Ireland sooner rather than later. But we're going to see what the end result is of these BCs. If he's alone, it's not recommended to be fighting over land. It's different about fighting over water, but you don't want to be taking all these troops on with this air without a Norway drop. I mean Spain, but here's Spain coming in. Looks like 9 or 10. Going to be 11 with a science vessel, so that's going to be more than enough to take it out. Even with these drops coming in, this could be a big turn for the Axis if they went up on it. Could have maybe knocked out 2 or 3 drops, but they're probably half full there. Don't see them dropping here. I think they're going to give it up. The engineering workshop is functioning. There's probably bats in there. Just not a whole lot. So it was a very partial drop, and without any BCs, I mean, you had the 2 there, but that just wasn't going to be enough. So Balth trying to counter the pressure here put on by Kraz. Let's see how Spain is doing. So he's got his 2 barracks, his important buildings down low, German fire bats guarding the starport, and Penny has not made any additional bunkers. So here Krasnaya is doing a strategy that he pretty much patented, and that's going Turkey right after being able to secure Africa. And he's going to be very successful with this goon army, along with these BCs. BC is very important for taking Turkey out without sustaining too many losses, and he's going to use that to good effect. Balk's looking strong. Axis haven't had to make any more bunkers. Been a slight poke here, as you can see, and there's another poke trying to thin out the Axis troop numbers. And this is Chris doing what Chris does best, hotkeying a number of men. It looks like he's got 5 or 6 hotkeys here, and just going down, finding an angle, and doing maximum damage, forcing the air to respond while getting maximum damage done. And they're going to be very happy with the result of this. With this drop by Goliath, you're going to be able to knock out the core and at least 1 airport. So very strong on that. Going able to knocking out the BCs. Exo being able to target a few, trying to run out with remaining RF he has. There's only one, but able to knock out the BCs. 3, possibly only a 4th Paris BC remaining for Molotov. He does have a couple of keys of scouts, so it's going to be very important for him to be using these without having a dominant BC advantage. Looks like a good 3, possibly 4 keys, and Molo should be looking to be aggressive with this. Spain might be worried for getting Drac. He does see that, pressure was put on these islands. He does have a couple of bats here. Nicely protected. Kraz being able to take Turkey without very many casualties. It kills him white, only 49. Doesn't have his BCs around. I wonder if he pulled them, or if he lost them. Might have lost them, but they don't seem to be too much of a crazy high amount of use, anyways. Not like the 4 Italian BCs. So right now, if you're Penny, your choices are USA, Oslo, or Algeria, and he chooses Algeria. I wonder if he's been in contact with Molo, because now Molo is sending his scouts down here. And they're going to be able to clear out Algiers without too much hassle. Because Kraz went Turkey, they are going to be able to clean up these cities, and Penny's going to have an incredibly high tax, probably in the 5k range if he retains Ireland and UK while expanding into Africa. So Kraz seen what's going on. It's going to move his troops down, but he does have the cities here. Probably wants to float a building and then maybe make a supply depot or float another building here. See what he decides to do. And he's still lots of money. He can either make a new bunker wall if he wants. Could make one here. Could make one there. Doesn't have to. This is going to be successful here in UK. There won't be very much left. Well, actually, because of the tanks, possibly not. Is he going to get the heal? Just barely not. Will not be successful, though. That's because of these 5 heavy tanks. Spain retaining them for the game. They're very, very useful. Exo uses them extremely effectively as his Spain. Here we have Balth poking. See what his upgrades are at. No upgrades for the tanks. 1 upgrade for the armor. Let's for the attack. The Russian is going. It has 3 attack, and ground is probably 3/3. They absolutely are. Spain has not upgraded yet. France has not upgraded. Germany went attack upgrade on the infantry and 3 attack upgrade on the BCs. Looking to start this very key Oslo poke. So being able to retain that. He's going to look to move up this avenue every turn. And being able to take this Oslo tax with fighting for Algeria, you should be on an even keel with the Allies. Is Penny going to decide to go USA? He absolutely is. So he pulled men out of Africa. He knew he was going to lose that fight, and he absolutely was. And now he's going to go to the next objective. It's going to be a double drop, which is going to be overkill. But Allies didn't want to get D-Day anyway, so Exo being smart and knocking that out. One of these countries should float up to Canada and make sure to secure that. It looks like it's going to be Spain. So the Allies can win this map on the bottom side, being able to catch the air out somewhere here in Africa. Like if the RAF were to come down with the French Air Force, be able to knock out a group or 2 of scouts. The game could also be won by regaining UK and then kind of fighting Spain for that. But seeing that Italy is becoming an active dropper, you definitely don't like seeing that. Looking to push. EXO with the drops. Looking for some free BC. So their decision is to ×4 east. With Kraz has a depleted army, but he was able to recapture all his territory. So going east, he knocked out some buildings, he knocked out some troops, but not a lot of tax went in the favor. So now the Axis for sure know that France went Turkey. They have that information. They have a large counterforce right here. We're going to see what Molo and Balth call. UK getting dropped. That's going to be successful. Lend taken. And are they going to counter Turkey? Doesn't look like it. No counter for Turkey. EXO going to try to take his cities back. The air might just stick around here until they can retake the USA, and that's exactly what they're doing. So they're keeping an air force here in Scotland, because when they retake this D-Day trigger by making a building on USA, they're going to spawn the 6 BCs and the landing D-Day trigger. So very important that they do this two-step maneuver, secure the airspace, get your air here, and then get the trigger. So here's the fight. There's the BC spawning. Big air battle. Germany does not have his BCs, so it's just going to be straight messers along with the Spanish Air Force. But I think that's all they need. Molo being able to retain a high amount of scouts, and as you can see now, he's building some. He lost this airport early. Doesn't have control facilities, so he's been building scouts. With the 3-2 upgrades right now, 11 BCs, he's got a 12th back there. He knows he just decimated the RAF, so that's why he can be aggressive with his BCs and not have air cover. With the Axis, it's all about effective aggression. You can always overpower in a certain direction, but is it worth it? So here he's using his BCs to try to take out tanks, to try to get knock out Chris's ability to take out buildings, take out the Marines, and take out bunkers. Seeing that Chris is backed out, deciding to try to hold on to some Lenin cities, maybe get this industry and prevent a few more tanks and a few more air going over towards Russia. So we're going to have to see. He does have an SCV or two, so that's why I think that he might be trying that. Although I've lost track of where his SCVs are. There's another one. So Italy keeping France stuffed here at the choke point. If you make France go the long way around, you can see the mini-map here. They're not able to attack you as efficiently, just able to attack your army, and that's not going to be a problem because you can see the BCs are here in Norway. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, so Balthasar is stuffing an attack here by France, and he's been able to retake Algeria. So being able to get this industry back, and he should be able to take out some of these cities. So very good use of split decision. He's splitting his APM to different parts of the map and getting rewarded for it. So there's not enough air to take out this area yet. The Allies' only chance of destroying this is catching it over ground, where you're going to get a drop with ground troops being able to surround it and be able to attack with your air. But Molo's an expert at keeping near the water here. If there's a force coming on this side, then he keeps his BCs over here. If there's a force on this side, he brings his BCs over on this side. So he's really been a key patent of that move, and it's been so important. I've seen him turn games just by being able to keep his air alive just for an extra turn or two, even with losing most of his buildings. He can still win games just with BCs. So bunker wall rebuilt, love the positioning. Right back behind Berlin. You have no buildings here to protect anyways. You have no core, you have no physics. So why would you build your bunker wall out in front? Get it back, get it more easily to defend, make it more room that Russia and Norway have to run at you. Key drop by Penny. They really needed that. Yes, they're going to win this attack, but if Penny doesn't drop there, then France is able to take on Italy 2-on-1. And Italy would have lost a lot more tanks there. So yes, they ended up winning the battle, but Penny's drop there was key, so nice heads-up play by Penny. Looks like they're going to move towards Algeria, but how the BCs are moving, let's see if they complete that movement pattern. Penny had his drops close, just kind of get these men, pick them back up, and then head down with the BCs, or come and load some more, and then go down to Algeria. Scouts wreaking havoc. Molo with the split focus. You know, it's a real thorn in Russia's side. If he can knock out the buildings around all these cities, right there, Leningrad as well. This one over here. It's a big part of Russia's money. Not quite half, but still a really significant amount. Looks like it could be a Egypt push, and it would be fairly safe. Right now the only aggression would be from Russia. He's the only one with a significant force at the moment. Kraz has been depleted, as you can see. Got 0 on the cash, so needs another round to be able to build up a larger army. Molo's going to take a little bit less aggressive path and is going to head off this attack, and it's going to be a really good decision. Instead of pushing towards Egypt, he's going to be able to stuff Chris here, and that would have made it a lot easier for the Allies to attack. If they could knock out these 2 bunkers here, it means that Italy needs to continually keep a force to keep France in check. But instead of putting pressure on Egypt, they're going to go right into Turkey, and just making sure to control the taxes. So Molo's playing the long game. He's not taking any overly aggressive chances. He's being very careful when he moves his BCs out, and he's doing so when he knows that there's not enough RAF to challenge the BCs. So in a normal game, the Allies probably would have given up at this point, but this is a tournament game. And this is looking like another Axis win for Team Argonaut, and this is with a completely different team. So it's with 3 players who didn't play before. So this is what we want to see. We want to see different players coming in. And EXO was casting one of the games before, and now he's taking UK. So this is one we're wanting to see, the different teams and high level of play, and we're definitely seeing that. This Axis team giving us a show, but it was good. It was good Africa movements. Chris has been playing well here as Russia. Goliath was able to take out that A wall real fast. Was able to retake UK. So everyone's playing a part. There's no heavyweight here. Everyone's doing something. Penny's just being able to make all kinds of units. He's got a 155 unit count, as you can see, challenging Russia for the top, and he's just making all that tax. So Axis pushing on 2 fronts right now. This is so much pressure. it's hard enough beating them on one front, but you've got pressure on Axis. You've got like in Africa, you've got pressure on Moscow. Little does Penny know, but it's a pretty close fight here. If he were just to go head on, and if these drops have any troops in them, and he comes and drops on here, then Egypt is theirs. So I think this is what the play is. Perhaps he's going to load them up and just paradrop them here. That would be a neat play. What do you got, Penny? Okay. This is what I originally thought. An attack with the men, drop between the bunkers or behind them. They both work. Those tanks in the front to absorb the shops, Marines behind. A little bit of fire bats for good measure, and that's going to be solid pressure on Middle East. But here the big fight's going on. The Allies are trying to get a surrounding here on the Axis, but are having a little bit of problem because the Axis just have too many BCs and too many tanks, and they're not quite being able to get any sort of encirclement more than half, and there's not any air. Chris calling out the GDs, is the rest of his team going to follow? And they are. Well, I got most of this tournament cast in. Game 3, Team Arg being victorious over Team Gun, Molo, Germ, Balth, Italy, Penny, Spain. And if you take a look at the map here of what the Axis hold, this bodes very well when you have armies here, and you hold everything here. So, hey, great job. It's hard to give an MVP here. I guess you got to give it to Molo, but Balthasar did really well holding Chris, and was also able to be aggressive with his drops. Yeah, he lost his BCs, but that's okay. He was able to do really well. You see that tank army at the end, and Penny being very successful, dropping UK, getting Ireland, continually dropping Algeria, being able to go USA, Canada, and yeah, that was retaken, but still doing what you got to do with Spain. So hey, wow. So let's go Jen.